While arguing, you've definitely heard this dreadful phrase again and again. Who asked? I didn't ask. Nobody asked. When you hear it, you can already tell that there's just something wrong about this phrase. You try to come back at it, but it just doesn't work. Literally everyone who's spectating the argument, including your opponent, is laughing and mocking you at the highest degree over such a dumb phrase. Once this phrase comes along, you are basically out of options. You're thinking to yourself, man, why does this comeback exist? It's so bad. Why isn't it overrated? Well, because it is. The main reason why it's garbage is because the phrase literally contradicts itself. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's kind of funny when it's used. I have no problem with it being a simple phrase. The problem is that it's so popular that it seeps into real conversations and real quarrels. And unfortunately, that is forever what the phrase means. As a real use phrase, it sucks. If you really think about it, the phrase makes no fundamental sense at all. Like, you say who asked, but nobody asked, or you say who asked. Does that not seem infinitely paradoxical? This still didn't deter self-centered 14-year-olds from pasting this overpasted, bad-tasted, nonsense-adjacent phrase anytime they find themselves in an argument. Unironically, this phrase has been a leech on competent thinking and internet civilization, which leads to the second reason why it's garbage. When the phrase is used in real arguments, it slaps a massive zipper on the victim's mouth that stops any ideas or any points from getting across, which is terrible. A real argument is meant to solve problems, mishaps, and misunderstandings. But sometimes people actually use this phrase to literally cover up their insecurities when they are being proven wrong or when someone is giving a really good point that feels embarrassing to oppose. The worst part is that with how the internet is like right now, it actually works, making the whole argument bogus. By saying who asked, you completely remove the other side's ability to speak and get their point across, which is actually a bad thing. You are literally shutting yourself away from potentially useful information that could help you and possibly even everyone. During a real proper argument, the best case scenario is that the people arguing learn from their mistakes and learn from each other, and the spectators could take notes from their actions so that they don't do the same. However, the best case scenario for arguments plagued with the phrase is that no one learns anything, and everyone just becomes even worse off than usual, sometimes to the point of actual harm to everyone. And should I even mention how it negatively impacts the victim? Can you imagine just trying to share something with others and then suddenly everything you shared becomes meaningless because someone used a borderline nonsensical phrase against you? Depending on the person, it would either be relatively annoying or it would be a massive embarrassment that could drag their emotion down for literal weeks. Come on, if all sides actually took a step back, set aside their teenagey, grumpy, insecurity-fueled emotions, and listen to others, then not only would the argument have real-world value, but it would actually benefit everyone within it because in one way or another, everyone involved learned something. In large enough movements, stopping this kind of cowardly behavior could actually improve the world. It could speed up major debates, and it would just make everyone happier. Now I know, some of you already fully understand and support what I'm saying, which is great, but there are still some others who are crossing their arms, claiming I'm giving too little detail on this silly little video. Well, first of all, what other questions about this that I haven't answered yet? What if nobody did ask? If you're asking it in literal terms, it doesn't matter. Many things that happen aren't asked for. Simply because nobody asked for something doesn't mean that the thing is always 100% not positive. There are a lot of unasked things that are positive, like gifts and surprises, but it really depends on what the person said. If they started boasting or speaking about something that people genuinely don't care about, that leads us to what if nobody cares about something that someone is saying? Simply tell them politely, hey, no one is actually interested in what you are saying. Obviously, this is easier said than done due to how rude and cold some people are, and saying this might round up to another fight. But this would still be so much better than using the half-baked phrase. After seeing all of the problems mentioned earlier, this really paints a picture of how the phrase can actually be toxic to our society. This brings us to the final part of the video, how you can help. First and foremost, obviously try your best to stop using this phrase. From your perspective, you might feel like the king of the internet from the reactions that people give you, but through real human eyes, you literally just look like an insecure bonehead. You might not be able to stop yourself from saying it right away, but you can slowly improve and decrease the usage more and more. Trust me, this will improve your social life immensely. Secondly, this video isn't just targeted at you, but it's targeted at other people as well. We've seen how the world needs to stop this, so if you found this somewhat meaningful, make sure to click, like, and comment on this video so that more people can see this. You can also show this video directly to others using the share button underneath the video display. And lastly, oh, and don't forget this part. You know what? Because this phrase is so dumb, it's honestly not even funny. So, what to take out of this video? Socialization and unity are extremely important for our survival, and creating barriers between ourselves due to emotions, egos, and pride is the last thing civilization needs. Worse if it involves using a half-baked phrase that almost doesn't even make sense. Try your best to stop using this dumb phrase and try to share this video to other people for the betterment of the world. Thank you for watching.